What's going on, folks, and welcome back to another Scum video. I hope you're all doing well. Now I'm just sitting here, I'm chilling, it's end of the week, we've got no more streams now till Monday, and I thought I'd have a look at this interview write-up that was posted by Noodle, as you can see up here. She runs the Heaven Can Wait server, and she's extremely reputable, and she's done all the write-ups for my Q&As that I've done with the developers as well. And she's very good at putting a 3 or 4 hour interview or Q&A into an actual write-up. And there's a few things that I'd like to just go through and have a quick look here and just see what's to expect and what's coming up with the game. Because right now they've just released 0.5, which was phenomenal, absolutely incredible, given that there is a portion of the community that are having issues with FPS. And the majority aren't having any issues at all. It's a very strange situation, but as GamePies always do, they seem to fix these issues, especially when it comes to optimization. They've done an extremely good job, considering that this is the biggest map in the Unreal Engine. So there's no other game out there using a map this big and with what these devs do. So with 0.5, there was a massive graphics update, which you can see in a couple of pictures here, which some of these screenshots I took today and over the last week of streaming. So you can see some of these pictures. They are phenomenal, absolutely gorgeous. And I honestly didn't... I knew that the game would go this way. I knew that the graphics would end up being updated, as I said in the Q&As long time ago. But for it to look like this, wow, I didn't expect it to look this good. So it exceeded all of my expectations in looks. And for me, especially in 2021, looks is a big thing for a game. And especially running this game in Ultra on 99.9% of my settings, it is a beautiful, beautiful game. And you really do need to take advantage of those settings in the options menu. So we're just going to have a little look-see at this interview and see what's going on here. So I'm just going to have a little read through, and then we're going to go down, and they even mentioned the consoles, the economy, survival versus shooter, etc., optimization, females, base upgrades, air travel and stuff. So we're going to have a quick look through here, so hopefully you guys will stick around and just have a quick listen. This is more of a bit of a ramble, but this is something that I really wanted to sort of make a video on, because I absolutely love this game, guys. You know, I've been here since the beginning, and I want to follow everything that happens, even within the Q&As as well. And I will leave a link to the interview down below in the description for you. So let's have a little look, see what Noodle's written up here. So Scum is a survival at heart. PvE and RP is quite important for a survival community in any game. In the future, we will see more of the PvE elements for Scum. Tomislav explained how he would like to give the players the option to have a lot of things to do while playing. It is not just about grabbing a weapon and killing a player. Although it is great finding a player to engage, you should be able to take your time to attack and defeat a clan. Take time planning a raid or an ambush. It could take days, weeks, or even months. Scum is not a quick PvP shooter, and that is true. It takes time to get the gear and the loot, especially when you're planning to raid someone. And that sort of stuff can take a lot of time. Players should have periods of relaxation in the game too. Tomislav wants you to be able to relax like you would in real life. You could do some fishing, tend to some crops. So you will begin to see more mini games become available in the future, such as farming and animal taming, which is something loads of people have been asking about. Farming and animal taming is definitely the big ones, because people love the PvE. As much as we see a lot of people shooting in the game, there's actually probably tens of thousands of people waiting for this sort of stuff, because this brings a whole new element to the game, which in other words is game mechanics. It gives you more things to do. Right now we have fishing, base building, looting, and a couple of other things, but once you do that, there's kind of limitations. There are currently a lot of items in the game that will give more functions than they currently do, and eventually they will enable these parts of the game. Developers and the community. Tomislav spoke at length about the community and how the Scum dev team communicate and interact with players. Tomislav comes across as very humble and describes himself as an ordinary person, nothing special, and he suggests players have no need to be worried about contacting him directly. He said he is happy to chat to players if they are respectful and will respond to questions and suggestions they have. Unfortunately, he received some awful messages and will not respond politely to them. And that's something that I really like about these developers. And I know Tommy Slav, he's a really nice guy. We've spoken privately, we've spoken on the streams, and obviously done Q&As and such. And he's such a lovely guy. He really and genuinely is. I'll also post a link to his Twitter page. And if you're not following him on Twitter, he leaks stuff all the time with Scum. And he really does do 90% of the hype work for this game. In fact, probably 99% of the hype work with this game. And lets people know what's possibly coming out and stuff like that as well. So, yeah, Tommy Slav is really, really cool. He is the co-founder and creative director. So he does a lot of the business side for the company and does a lot of other things as well. He obviously gets his fingers are in every corner of that company, all the pies. So he's the guy who knows everything that's happening. So he talks about streamers. Tommy Slav spoke highly of streamers and explained how they do a lot for the game and the community than the players may realise. They bridge the gap between the developers and players. Not only do they promote the game, but they also provide information, tutorials and guides about how the game works. He stated they are doing a lot of work for the game for free. And this is true. This is the best way. This is the best way developers get games out there. And if they're good enough, people will continue to make content and tutorials and guides, etc. I'm thinking about starting a few myself. He goes on to say, she goes on to say, streamers are extremely creative in how they show off the game. There are many variations of streamers, such as single player, role play, PvP stories, tutorials, all real people sharing their real experiences of the game. This makes streaming a great way to spread awareness of the game via word of mouth. This is so true. Very, very true. So, when the game was released in 2018, GamePies was a small team and they were very aware of that the game was in a bad shape. Tommy Slav explained how he would never release an early access game again, but back then they had little choice. They went bankrupt almost 3 times and decided to release the game and prove to the community that they will keep up with the work and that they will push out updates as often as they could. The team have proven this many times over. They have released over 150 updates and hotfixes in 2 years, more than any other game. And now players are beginning to realise Scum is working towards being a survival game. And this is something that I'm always trying to push out. And I'm pretty sure that number there should be well over 200, not 150. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that is over 200 within 2.5 years or so. When the updates are released, Tommy Slav often reads the comments and responses from the community, which includes complaints, bugs, hotfixes, and questions about testing before releasing. He explained testing with a small number of people is not comparable to a large number of players, that no matter how much they test a version, they need around 2,000 players to play it and find these bugs that would otherwise be difficult to find, because that can take a long time finding bugs and stuff like that. And this is something I love about these guys and girls also, is that they are very direct with their community. Go on the Scum Steam forums. Nearly every post you will find a developer replying. Someone, if it's audio lead, it will be Ratco. If it's anything to do with programming, Lever will actually reply, or anything, Beta will reply, or Tommy Slav, and Dino as well. Player numbers. At one point, Tommy Slav addressed the concerns of comments from players about how Scum is dying, that the player numbers are dropping. He assured us that at this stage in development, the numbers are greater than most games at a similar stage. The developers have a better insight into this data than players. They understand that many will buy the game when it is on sale and may never even play it. Tommy Slav did say he was amazed at the numbers peaking at over 20,000 at one point recently, and players average over 10,000 daily. He did not expect to go over 10,000 players this year. This game, ladies and gents, is truly going to be the best open world survival game of all time when it is complete. And we're going to get onto a few other things in a second. We're just going to have a quick look at the marketing side of things. So the developers often ask why they do not throw money at advertising the game to encourage more players to play. Tommy Slav told us that they have been taking small steps when it comes to marketing. They prefer to spend their resources on the development, features, content, and developing the community. It is important to have a good reputation with the players. That is the best thing I've heard all week. This really and truly is so true. They have to be one with their community. Not everyone's going to agree with everything. At this stage, there is not the need to rely on a huge number of players for feedback, as most of us know the devs spend a lot of time talking to the community, reading comments, listening to feedback. Tomislav himself will receive suggestions from players, and if they are simple enough, he will approach the team with the idea. It will usually be included in the next update, which is 2 weeks. If they are a bit more complicated, the ideas may take longer to implement. He also stated that most of the suggestions he gets are already planned for the game, which shows that the players already want what the game is becoming. So, the secret meeting tweet. So there was a secret meeting tweet, and this was the picture. And I absolutely love their humour, as you can see here. But these are the sort of leaks that get put out. So if we go up to the top, let's have a look. So most of us saw the tweet. Console. Now, this is interesting, because I remember hearing about this very early on, so let's see what they got to say about this now. Boydie asked about the console release. Tomislav said they were in negotiations with Microsoft before the game was released for early development. Now, they are not sure how it would work. They need to consider the interface and the time and resources it would take to essentially make 2 versions of the game. Console will not come until after 1.0. Until after 1.0. Now, I know DayZ Standalone ended up going to console, and a lot of people didn't like the idea of it. It's been a PC game for years, guys. It was a mod for years, way before Standalone even came out. Like myself, a veteran of DayZ, back in the early days, when I had to go to like several websites to get the actual mod working before it even blew up, and then it just went huge. It went viral. But to see that they're possibly going to be going to console is also good. That is something that is going to be a huge thing for a lot of players, because I get people in most streams during the week, daily, one person at least asks about console. Is it on console? Can I download this now? The answer to that right now is obviously no. Economy. This was not a promise, but Tomislav said they would try to get the first features into the game for the next update. The team are discussing the economy, and it will 100% be in the game. They are just not sure when. The first stage would be the NPC traders, then later would come things like missions, which would influence the economy within the game. So they want to get the missions, the NPC traders, and stuff like that. I'm not sure what these would trade exactly. Maybe furniture? Or I don't know. Or, you know, I don't know. I have no idea what they could trade right now, because it's got to be a part of all the missions and stuff, I guess. Survival versus shooter. Boydie asked about the bunkers in the game and how they relate to survival, as they all contain weapons and gear for PvP. The explanation from Tomislav gave us a huge clue about how the game will eventually look. The story of Scum is not implemented into the game. The lore will not come closer to 1.0. Or I'm guessing that should say the lore will come closer to 1.0. Maybe even after. Oh, okay. Oh, so the lore will not come close to 1.0. That's strange. Maybe even after. Eventually they want to provide the players with an end game, a way to complete the story and escape from the island. This is something other survival games do not provide for 1.0, and beyond you will be given missions that will lead you off the island. This will be optional if you want to play the game as a farmer and tend to crops as a fisherman. A PvP player, an explorer, and explorer of the island. You can. We are getting to the bunkers. Tomislav described the players in the game as 3 types: PvP, PvE, and RP. He would like each player to make their own choices, but to also have the choice to escape the island. As players roam the island, they will come across these bunkers. Right now, they contain high tier loot, but eventually they will change. Some will be alive with Tech 1 staff, supplies, and will be broadcasting the show from there. These active bunkers, you can plan to attack and retrieve supplies. Then there will be abandoned bunkers, scary places that contain experiments gone wrong, monstrous creatures, deadly environments. These areas may contain clues about Tech 1, their intentions, and how to escape them. This is something I've been waiting for a long time, because we've only really had the puppets for a long time. Now, they are diverse now. The puppets are a lot better than what they used to be. The skinny ones run fast, fat ones are slow. You got muscly ones, and all different types, male and female. But this is the sort of stuff that will make the game so much more interesting. Monstrous creatures. Now, guys, I don't know what they mean by that. I don't know if they mean like Silent Hill type stuff, but just something. Imagine seeing a monstrous creature, right? Nighttime, in the fog, coming towards you, or even a horde of them. It will be amazing. Deadly environments, these areas and deadly environments, yeah. So that's going to be cool, like areas where you might need a respirator or something like that. Of course, this will not go unnoticed by Tech One. They will find out and they will place a bounty on your head. This will be seen by the other players who will then come after you. That is so cool. It really is cool. And when we see this stuff, this is when we're going to get really excited for it. So optimization. Boydie asked when the lag and FPS drops would be addressed. This is something that was in 0.5, and as I said at the beginning of the video, some players were experiencing high FPS and some were experiencing low. Tommy Slav explained that they are constantly working on optimization. There is always work going on under the hood that is not included in patch notes. 0.5 increased the level by 60% and the engine is not even built for this. The team are always making changes to the engine themselves to help with this. The female models will eventually be remodeled. This will take a while to do, so we will not see it anytime soon. Eventually they will get tattoos, different features and clothes. We may see them at the end of this year. Base upgrades, we will see cement and bricks being used to fortify bases. We will also get the option to fully customize the houses already in the game too. Now when he says fully customize the houses already in the game, that the original plan was, before the base building come in, was the pre-fortified structures that you see in the game now, so all the buildings that you see around the map. With this, you will see this was supposed to go with the trading stuff, the traders. So you could take over a house, and what you could do is you could completely empty it, go to a trader, get some furniture, and build it up. But obviously, when the electricity comes in and stuff like that, and you may even have a plot out the back where you can do your farming, and maybe even animal taming. Obviously, they did mention animal taming, and I was always thinking, could you have wolves or animals that could, you know, protect your premises, protect your property as well? That would be cool. Air travel. The first versions of this will be wingsuits, parachutes, and gliders. Eventually, we will see aircraft like helicopters, but this will be extremely hard to come by. They will have the ability to destroy bases, and that's fine. Bases should not be safe, but armoured vehicles will be extremely hard to acquire and run. Okay, that's different. I didn't think they were going to bring helicopters in. I personally prefer it if the wingsuits, parachutes, and, you know, ground vehicles, that sort of stuff is cool. But when you start going into helicopters and stuff, I mean, just a personal opinion, you know, that's a bit strange. Map expansion, which we just had, and it's amazing, by the way. It is most likely the map will not get any bigger, but they will concentrate on filling out the areas already in the game with new POIs in the following months. They will eventually remove the in-game map. You'll have to find parts of it as a paper version or as part of a GPS system. See, I like this. I think that's cool. When you do find the map as well, you'll have to, well, before you find the map, you'll have to remember exactly where you put your loot. But I'm a little bit disappointed that it will not get any bigger. It's most likely it will not get any bigger. I have to keep saying that to myself because I can't believe I'm reading that. I thought that was going to be a lot bigger. I thought the map was going to be big. So I'm a little bit disappointed. In fact, I'm very disappointed in that statement. But even still, you know, they could have had different areas and stuff like that. But there's more POIs and stuff to bring in the game, which goes on to say here, but they will concentrate on filling out the areas already in the game with new POIs in the following months. They will eventually remove the in-game map. You'll have to find parts of it as paper version or as part of a GPS system. Balancing. This is a difficult thing to achieve. Base builders will say it's too easy to destroy bases, and lockpickers say it's too hard to get in. Tommy Slav told us your base should not be safe. You should be able to raid any base. Nothing should feel safe in this game. We will see new features brought in, like new ways to get into police lockers and digital locks for our bases. Digital locks, that's cool. But the problem is, well, it's not a problem, but C4 will just destroy anyway. But yeah, when it comes to the bases and stuff like that, there's different ways, and I've even made some guides for this sort of stuff, guys. I already have. If you check out the Berry in Box video, which I'll put in down below as well. I'll put the Berry in the Box video and places that you can hide them. So you can literally just live out of a box that you dig up. No one's really going to find that unless they randomly, you know, very luckily stumble upon it. Metabolism. This is the #1 priority because 0.5 brought a lot of content. They can spend a bit of time adding features that were not planned to the next big update, which will include Metabolism over the next month or two. This will also bring in, and I'll put some pictures here for you guys to see. They will also, with this, you'll see how it looks. I'll post some pictures. which looks really, really, really cool on how it's going to look. And you can actually see everything. So, yeah, guys, this is pretty much it. There's probably a lot more to this as well. But yeah, this is more of like a ramble. I haven't made one of these. I don't think I've ever made one of these videos before, and it's like probably going to be like 20 minutes long or something. So I do apologise for that. But hopefully we can kind of get a little bit more involved with what's happening with everything right now and kind of what their ideas are. But I like the whole monsters thing and new bunkers and stuff like that, and underground areas and deadly environments as well and stuff. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Apologies again that it's very, very long, but sometimes it's good to go through some of this stuff. And you know, the video is 3 hours long, so if I can't make the stream, I can't sit there for 3 hours and watch it myself. So I've read through this, and I will link this down below for you guys. So with that being said, stay safe, peace out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.